Hey guys and girls, welcome to the Voices from the Dark show. So, what's the deal about airplane food, am I right? Hold on, let me get it. Oh my god, I got a package from a Darkling. Alright, let's figure out what's in the box, shall we? I have a faint clue what it could be, because I sort of got some hints about what it was supposed to be, but how it has been sort of put together, I don't know. It's from Gypsy Time Lady 89, all the way from the US of A. And we have, of course, this little... Oh, I can't remember what you call this material in English, but it gives me goosebumps, just this... The feeling... The feeling and the sound just makes me cringe so hard, I can't. I have to remove it to get to the materials, though. Wish me luck. Okay, I'm starting to see things now. That's a plus. What could it be? Alright, let's take something out here. She got me bubble wrap. Best presents. No, from what I gather, this is supposed to be like Thanksgiving themed, because we don't actually really celebrate Thanksgiving here in Norway, believe it or not. This looks to be a jar of something. Oh my gosh, just in time for Halloween. Farmhouse pumpkin. I can't say, I don't actually have a lot of experience with pumpkins. It's not edible. It's a scented candle. So if I want my room to smell like a pumpkin, I can do that. And it can be real spooky. Well, thank you. Next up, I got a little magnet thingy you can hang on the fridge. It says Emerald Bay, Lake Tahoe? Let me Google this. Lake Tahoe is a large freshwater lake in Sierra Nevada of the United States. It straddles the border between California and Nevada. That looks beautiful. Looks kinda Norwegian. Now there's something else here, which might be a voodoo doll. Oh no, I'm gonna get cursed. Oh, I'm so getting cursed. I'm so getting cursed tonight. Look at this little guy. It's like, mate. You're pirate? He's supposed to be a scarecrow. And he does scare me a little bit, but is it one of those things that are supposed to like smell good? Because he does already smell good.
Carl Senpai said I smell good. A blush.
Alright, I'm putting this guy on my desk. I mean, like, half my viewership is American, so it only feels right. Now, Thanksgiving is all about being thankful, isn't it? So, what better way to be thankful than a little wood decor thing that I'm dripping these little white thingies still. Whoa! Well, thank you. Looks like I can celebrate Thanksgiving now. Now all I need are friends to eat with. I suppose you mostly do that with your family, don't you? But wait, there's more. Got a little, like, keychain golden bear thingy. On it says, Hangtown, Placerville, California. I suppose that solves the riddle as to where this package is from. Placerville, California, Hangtown. They have a Hangtown festival. That sounds awesome. Also sounds really grim, but still awesome. It says, bring the family. Yeah, I don't know about that. Alright, what else is in the mystery box? It's like she's been a tourist for me and like got me little souvenirs. Another thing from like old Hangtown, Placerville, California. There's another thingy that you can like stick to the fridge and then equip some thingy on. It's quite a bite. Be careful where you put this. And at last, there is a letter. Let's see, how's the handwriting? Alright, it's readable. Good. And the letter goes a little something like this. Dear Dark, aka Carl, you're gonna have a very manly voice now, I hope you can forgive that, but it's better than me trying to fake a girl voice. I hope the candle survived from its long trek overseas. Yeah, you'd wrap that up pretty well, so it looks like it made it. And that everything remained unbroken. Anywho, finally happy that I managed to come up with something to send you. I don't draw stick people well at all. Nonsense, that is a perfectly good stick figure. So I sent little doodads from my hometown. A few Thanksgiving items since the American holiday is in November. I thought you might enjoy seeing things from another country's holiday. The Lake Tahoe one isn't where I live, but it's the closest tourist spot. My town isn't called Hangtown, but that's what the gold rush miners called it in the 1800s. Hangtown is badass though. I mean, like, who doesn't want to live in freaking Hangtown? In any case, I've enjoyed watching you ever since Kijor Season 1, Episode 1. Oh, that's a classic. More than any other YouTuber, you seem to really connect with your followers, yet still remained engaging and funny. Aw. Your videos have helped me release a lot of stress. I could just lose myself in your randomness, and I still do. That's good. Plus, I always listen to you as I fall asleep, but it's not as creepy as that sounds. Oh, that's kind of flattering, actually. I don't mind that. I like to think that there's a difference between boring and soothing. Anyway, I feel for you whenever your life gets crazy. You always have my support no matter what. Enjoy the goodies, happy Thanksgiving, and stay dark. From Gypsy Time Lady 89. Thank you so much for this package. And finally, wait, didn't I already put this on the shelf? No, but all jokes aside, thanks a lot for this gift. It's cool that somebody would think oh, well, maybe I'll bring some of, my surroundings and my culture to... Oh, gosh! You see this plaque thingy? It stuck to the pumpkin essence.
Essence of pumpkin. It is quite useful for those delicious poisons.
So thank you for your goods. Whoa. Suddenly I'm wearing a new shirt and it's a new day. What sorcery is this? Oh. No, but this is the part of the video where I was going to address a concern that a concern that people were raising towards me. Because if you've noticed the channel lately, you've seen that there's been very much a lack of variety, and a lot of the bigger projects like The Dark Interaction and Retro Replay and such aren't being uploaded, and people are wondering why, understandably. Now, I have a lot going on behind the scenes, and 2016 in general has just been a big old ball of mess. This right here is 2016, and it's very, very messy. But one of the things that's been a mess is what I want to do moving forwards, and of course one of those things is YouTube. That's part of the equation here. And the thing is that after months of consideration and thinking about it, I think I've come to realize that I won't ever be able to push it past just being a fun hobby, because I'm not actually willing to take the steps that are needed to move beyond just a hobby. If I wanted our channel to grow, there are many different things that I should be doing differently, because the market that I'm in on YouTube is incredibly oversaturated. Gaming channels, dime a dozen. There's new ones popping up every day, and no matter what game you think you could play and be original with, somebody's already done it, and probably in a way that seems a lot more entertaining than yours. So when I get people who ask me like, hey, how do I start out on YouTube? I never really tell them this is how you're successful. Step one, to be successful, don't push your mic. I instead tell them how to have fun, or how I have fun and what I feel is important, because I've never been very good at advertising myself. It might just be a reflection of my personality that I don't really like to be in people's face. But if you want to grow as a channel, like, there are steps that you need to take to stand out in just a sea of videos. You need catchy thumbnails, which often involves all caps, like boom, oh my god, must watch. I could put some examples up on screen. I'm not roasting or talking bad about any of these people. This is what you're supposed to do. This is standard YouTube, but I just can't bring myself, because I don't like all caps titles in videos. They annoy me. I'm like, I don't want to just be like screaming for attention. I just want to have like a clear and concise title so people can choose to watch it without the all caps, you know, without freaking caps lock. And a lot of videos also just thrive on being like controversial or following a trend, like, you know, top 5 lists. Now, I've done a lot of different things in the past that I now have come to realize that I don't really like. I don't think I've really done all caps titles before. Well, I mean, I did do the whole Amnesia reactions, and I think back in the day it was like all caps, 5 teens scared to death, must watch. I didn't add must watch, but I probably should have back in the day. Those got a lot of views. And when it comes to just being creative, let's take an example. This is a video that took me a day or a day and a half to make. Top 5 things Skyrim does better than Oblivion. Wow, it's a trend. You see that on YouTube, you're like, oh, I want to check that out. That sounds exciting. It's very appealing to a big crowd, and it got a lot of hits. Almost 200,000 views on that. And for me, that's an extremely good amount. On the other hand, we have retro replay for my favorite game of all time, Resident Evil 4, where I essentially talk about Resident Evil 4, and I give it a bit of like a nostalgic review, a look back, and have some skits mixed in, and those kinds of videos take me a few weeks to make. 2,000 views. Here's the thing though, either I produce this thing which is really quick and gets a lot of views, or I do this thing which takes a long time and only gets a low amount of views. And the answer here seems obvious, you know? Which one of these should you make? But the thing is, I don't feel satisfied making the top 5 thing because, I don't know, I think I've been around the site so much that I've become very cynical. Like, I see trends and I see like what people are doing, and I know how the whole thing works. If you're just like a casual viewer, you're just like, oh, this looks fun, and just click on it. That's good, you know, it provides entertainment to people. That's very good. But personally, I just don't much care to be a big part of that. I just want to sort of do my own thing because I don't feel really proud of the top 5 series because they're so simple. Meanwhile, the retro replay thing where I can try to be creative and I write a script, that's a fun experience, and I feel much more proud of the result that I have created. Don't hit the mic! So with all of this rambling, what I am trying to say is that YouTube is not going to be more than just a hobby for me. Because I'm not willing to go all out and change the way I do things in order to appeal to more people. Currently, our rate of subs and views, we had a little bit of a bump this summer. I don't know where it came from or why it came, but we are just skyrocketing straight. Instead of skyrocketing up, we had a little turn and we're just going straight down. I mean, I think we're almost at the point where we're getting less than 500 Darklings a month, and we haven't been that low since like early 2014. So we're almost at a point of being the lowest we've been in over 3 years, you know? Because there's a lot of the games we play aren't like massively popular, we don't jump on the latest game. And mostly on the channel, I just play things I feel like and things that people recommend, and the thing is, people enjoy watching my stuff. I see that in the comments. I see that people, you know, take time out of their day to sit down and enjoy it. And that's always been the most important thing. So, you know, I had a dream a few years back and up through 2015 as well, where it's like, yeah, I can do this. Like, I want to do this. I want to try and evolve this. But now that I've grown a bit more, I don't know, just cynical and just more analytical, and I just see the whole situation, I don't know if that's how I want to do it. Like, I've gotten a lot of great experiences and great friends through YouTube, and I want to keep doing it in the future as a casual hobby. But I need to try to leave the thought of that behind and move on to other things. As some of you might know, I had, well, basically in 2015, I sort of set up how my future might be, and I started laying plans. Then in 2016, those plans fell through. I broke up with my girlfriend, or my fiance, which, you know, made a lot of things unstable and in motion, and I've been trying to, like, take all of these pieces that are now flying and piece together some sort of vision for the future, and it's starting to come along. I've found a school which I would like to apply to next year. I'm finding some very interesting studies that I might want to take, and I'm doing my best. I'm applying for part-time jobs here and there, although I'm not getting hired anywhere because I don't have experience. But here's the thing, to get job experience, you need to have a job. But then to get that job, you need job experience. But to get the job experience, you need a job. But they won't hire you unless you have the You see how this works? They have a lot of people to pick from in the part-time job market, so it's like, hey, why pick somebody without experience when you can get somebody with experience? So I mostly spend my days now just focusing on making videos and trying to figure out what to do, and I don't like it. I don't like being idle, but it's my own choice. I made a decision last year to not continue the university course that I was taking because one, I wasn't enjoying it, and two, it didn't make sense with the future that I had in mind and my plans to move to a different country. So I don't necessarily regret that, but I just miss I do miss the social school thing, so it's gonna be good to get that going again. So what am I trying to say with all of this? Well, those of you who've raised concerns about me, I am working on getting back into the flow of things, but right now I haven't been able to really make Retro Replay and the Dark Interaction because they require a lot of energy and they require a lot of motivation, and I really have not possessed that these last few months. It's why I closed down my Patreon, because I felt it coming. I was like, I'm gonna hit a big mental just slump very quickly now, so just close that. You can't hold any promises, you can't do anything, you just gotta fall apart and then just try to rebuild from there. And it's just weird. We've been on this journey now for over 6.5 years, and it's like I started out doing this thing that I'm doing now when I was 14. I was a little stupid little kid who thought Voices from the Dark was so cool and edgy, and I just sat down and I recorded some silly games because I saw people do it on the internet and I thought it looked like fun. And through that I made some great friends, and in the beginning I was Voices from the Dark, you know? I was just an online persona. But now 6 years later, I'm Carl, so to say, and like I have relatives who watch my channel and friends who watch my channel, real life friends, and it's freaking weird. I still like to sort of keep it as like my own little thing where I just do things and I am dark, but when it also clashes with being Carl, it's weird. It's really weird. Though when I look back at my earlier stuff, although a lot of it is super cringeworthy and I had the worst sense of humor and I didn't know how to do anything, there was still a certain spark in my earlier videos. There was just something about the oblivious little Dumbo that was just so, I don't know. I look back at it now and I'm like, there's something there. There's something there that really hooked people, and I feel like I've lost that spark. So I'm trying to sort of figure out where it went, you know, and how to unleash just the creative forces once more. I do love reading through your comments, I have to say. It's really nice being able to go through a comment section and see so much just love, support, and just fun interactive comments where it's like you're part of the series we play, you know, come up with jokes and fan art and inside jokes and give feedback and tips and all of that stuff. Now, some of you are asking like, what games are we gonna play next? What's gonna be next? Because right now it's been very stale with just a lot of the same going on the channel. Medieval to Total War, If My Heart Had Wings, and Skyrim. 3 very different games, you know, an RPG, a visual novel, and a strategy game. It's like, whoa. But I feel like that diversity has always been a very typical thing for my channel. It's never been a one-trick pony, even though I played, you know, a lot of Skyrim back in the day, and that was one of the big things. There are very few games coming out that I'm like immediately hyped for. One of them is probably Mountain Blade Bannerlord, which I feel like is gonna be fun because I love the whole semi-roleplay aspect of things, like being able to jump into the shoes like we did in Mountain Blade Warband, where we played as Harold Hellfury, traveling the land and rising to be a king and having our own kingdom. That's a lot of fun, and those series, I feel like they allow for a lot of really fun moments. So that's definitely one, but the games I play, I'm quite picky about. Like, I want them to have a certain something. I can't just sit down and just play something for the heck of it. I need to feel like I can do something with the game to really make it entertaining. Some of you are asking what it's like having moved, if I'm enjoying the new place, and yeah, I am. It's nice, it's so lovely and quiet. I figured moving downtown would just be constantly noisy, but it's actually just really serene, and I like it, and I'm happy with how the setup is coming along with the foam, so I'm very happy. And also, this is probably a common theme coming down now. I should really just be thankful, you know? Because sometimes, I mean, when you look at my graphs on YouTube, on Social Blade, and you see like the big crash and stuff, you might think like, oh, well, this guy's struggling. But it's like, we have very slow and steady growth, and I don't know. I've come to terms with that, and I feel like it's okay. It's reasonable, I feel. I don't feel like I've tried to push my channel too hard. Maybe that's been a mistake. Maybe from the beginning I'd had more provocative thumbnails and titles, and I'd ask people to subscribe and like and favorite and share. Maybe that in the long run would have had an effect to the point where our channel would be much bigger than it is now. But I should just be happy with where we're at. I have a really strong fan base. I get a lot of awesome things, letters, freaking items, cursed voodoo dolls. I mean, you name it. So I just gotta be thankful for what I have. But yeah, I am enjoying my stay here. I really think that like one of the reasons I enjoy doing this so much and sharing the adventure is that it reminds me of like something from my childhood, because back in the day with like local multiplayer, you know, you'd invite over your friends and you'd sit down and play a game, and especially in those games where you can sort of weave your own stories and tell the story that you want to tell. Like, you know, for example, Oblivion was an example of that, but even just games that aren't meant for roleplay like Jack 2, just the things you do when you sit there with a friend, it's sort of like playing with a friend, just slightly lonelier. It's given me a lot of skills as well that I hope will come in handy somehow. Like I'm 100% sure that if I didn't do YouTube, I would not only be a much shyer person, but I would also be much worse in English, that's for sure. It's like constant practice. Constant practice makes perfect. People are always like, hey Dark, how do you get good at commentary? How do you edit? How do you do this? It's just like practice. It's such a boring answer, but it's like practice. It's like you don't even need to record. Like sometimes when I need to warm up for something before I jump into this, like right before I sat down to talk now, I was like, well, I got up not too long ago, I'm still a bit groggy, you know, do a little stretch, do a little workout, do some tongue exercises, do some just freaking what to do to die today at a minute or two till 2, you know, just do some things. And then I just sat down, I played a game I'm playing right now, The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, 2nd chapter, very enjoyable. And I just sat there with my controller commentating, no microphone or anything, just to sort of get into the groove of things. And it's fun and it's good, and I don't really know what I'm going on about in this video. This is just a great ramble of just months of just things processing in my head and trying to figure things out. Some of you are wondering how much longer I'm going to be doing YouTube in this, and that's hard to say. As long as I'm still enjoying it, and as long as you keep interacting with me, that gives a lot of entertainment for me, and it makes making videos feel like a much more fun process. In the beginning, I did it for the lulz, you know, I just did it because I could do it. And because I want to be proud of a result that I created, even though gameplay is one of the simpler forms of creating entertainment. But that doesn't mean that it's worthless, not at all. Somebody's asking if I'm single at the moment. Wouldn't you like to know? Yes. And people are congratulating us on 45,000. That's right, I suppose that is kind of a milestone. I suppose the next big one is gonna be at 50k, but if we gain 500 a month, that's 10 months away to get 5,000, so our growth on this channel is so irregular and so spazzy, but it's okay. It's my little baby. It's been my fun little project ever since I first started out, and I feel like it's going in a positive direction, even though it's growing so slowly and such. Because it's opened up a lot of opportunities. I have YouTube friends that I'm hanging with. I mean, just this last Saturday, I spent some time with a YouTube friend, Truls, who's, I mean, if you're Norwegian and you haven't heard of him, then what is wrong with you? You know, going downtown playing Pokemon Go together, filming some episodes, and getting forced to get Charmander face paints. If you're not following me on Twitter, you're really missing out at VoicesFTD. Plug. And then afterwards, I was invited to a convention, and I was like, yeah, sure, let's go. At the convention, a guy dressed up as Aragorn from the Lord of the Rings came up to me, and he was like, oh, I watched your Lord of the Rings The Third Age series. And I'm like, hey, a Darkling out of nowhere, randomly. It's so lovely, like it opens up opportunities, and like in the VIP streaming section, I was like, hey guys, and I knew people there, and I'm like, oh, Daniel, what's up, you streaming? It's done a lot for me, and it's a lot of fun. So where I take this in the future, I'm still a bit unsure. But I think just my main focus is going to be to continue having fun and just try not to stress out about the fact that we're growing at such a snail's pace, because at least we're growing at all. At least we've found an audience, and I should just be thankful and stop rambling. Now, let us move over to something else that I'm thankful for. I feel like Gypsy Time Lady's Thanksgiving package really set me in the right spirit. Because right now we are going to something called fan art. Now we have a lot of cool things to go through today, so buckle up. We'll start off with showing a hand-drawn picture of Jarina by @Bloodborne117. We can see Jarina looking really cute. I don't know why, but that's just such a cute picture of her. I love her face. With her warhammer, her armor, her cape, and a bow on her back. It's been fun jumping back into Skyrim, even though a lot of the flaws and the reasons I'm kind of tired of the game are showing themselves, and the crashes certainly aren't helping, but it's weird to think that we're still going on about that, even though it's been many, many years. Soon a 5-year anniversary. That's crazy. Now, before I show you this next picture, I have to ask you a question. What is your opinion on Solstheim? You want to know mine? It's a terrible place! This is made by Fairclaw, and it references Morrowind, where if you ask an NPC about Solstheim, you're like, tell me about Solstheim. First thing they say, every single one of them, a terrible place. And it became a running joke through the series. I love the drawing too, though, thank you. Now we're jumping to @LoveheartAE, who made me as like a little Total War kid. So, in Medieval to Total War, I play a campaign on the British Isles, where I play as Norway. So, obviously, the Norwegian flag, and I have like a little crown and my little scepter. It says VOTD. Well, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be VFTD, but it doesn't bug me because everybody gets my name wrong anyways. Like even when I just hang out with other YouTubers and they're gonna plug me at the end of the video, they're like, Voices of the Dark, and I'm like, God damn it. I picked the worst name. It's so... But I can't change it now, because it's a part of me. I've considered changing it in the past. There was a brief moment where I wanted to change it, but I just came to realize that I am VFTD, and I just have to own it. But thank you for the picture. We'll jump over to another drawing by @EchoofMidnight. It is Alice. She first came into this world, meaning she was first generated in the game engine of Skyrim, during January of 2012. So... man, she's getting up in the years. You're getting old, Alice, but still, you're still as beautiful as ever, our Imperial Warrior, because I wanted to test out a warrior playstyle of Skyrim. Ah, good old days. I mean, I can't say the same for my commentary, but before I rant on about my past, let me show you the next picture by Clara Flamant. It is Darky from 2010 to 2016. So... 6 years of making legendary awesome videos, stay dark, half night and half day, and half evil and half good, living in the shadows, decision, ways to go either way, choice have to be made by yourself. So I like this cut between, you know, past me and current me, because there's been a lot of change. A lot of the change has been positive, but as I said earlier, there was just like a certain spark, and there was like, I was not holding back then, mostly just for negative reasons. My idea of comedy was shouting out obscenities at random intervals, and that was comedy. But still, there was a certain spark back then, and where is it? Has anybody seen it? I keep looking for it, but it's hiding really well. Next up, we have a picture made by Fretzeloth that will make a lot of people curious. Hot Wheels with Kitori's face. What does it mean, Dark? Well, and if my heart had wings, there's a girl named Kitori. She's in a wheelchair. Sometimes she goes fast. I called her Hot Wheels. That's it. That's the mystery. And every time she enters the scene and we call her Hot Wheels, a little car sound effect plays. It's lovely. We love you, Kitori. We just jest because we like you. Now let's go back to more Medieval to Total War. This is made by Khalida, and it is like me as a little chibi warrior, holding the shield with the Norwegian lion on it in blue as it is in the game, and I'm just ready to take down the bloody Irish or the English or whoever. I'm gonna be fighting everybody. I don't discriminate. I just hate and kill everybody. Now let's end this with some freaking cute chibis made by the one and only Pink Husky Derp. So this is Chibi Carl. Chibi Carl is like me, but he's a tiny version. He's small enough to sit on your shoulder or sleep in your bedroom drawer. And he just looks really zen and happy, so that's nice. Also, a cat version that says meow? Now things are getting a little weird, Husky. Now you need to dial it back a little, but... You can also see little Chibi Carl riding a fur alligator, which is the evolution of Totodile, the water starter Pokemon from Generation 2. And I must say, I like how your drawing style is coming along. Let's see another example of her drawing style. Well, Husky made Izuka and Amane from If My Heart Had Wings. They're just friends. And I was like... At some point I was like, it would have been really cool to see a picture of Izuka and Amane. She took some artistic liberties with it, but I'm sure they're just very friendly, even though I don't know where Izuka's hand is going. She needs to watch that, so this is great. Having Darklings all across the world draw Yuri fan art, my dream has finally come true. But I really like how your drawing style has developed. Even since the first picture you sent me, there's a big improvement, so that's good to see. Practice makes perfect. You gotta suck a lot to get good. That's my philosophy. Now, those were the fan art pictures that I had received. If you wish to make some fan art of your own, make a drawing or make something that's related to me or one of my series, you can make it and send it to vf3fanstuff@hotmail.com. Remember to include whatever name you would like me to call you as. You can also send that to me at Twitter at VoicesFTD if you feel that that's more convenient. And of course, following me there will give you updates on the latest things I put in my mouth. Well, guys and girls, I believe that wraps up this incredibly rambly and weird update video. I want to thank Gypsy Tam Lady 89 for sending me a little package and wanting to show me her hometown through a couple little thingies. It's nice to know that somebody on the other side of the world is thinking about you, so thanks a lot for that. I also appreciate the pictures and all of the comments that have been rolling in since the last time I made a video like this, so just keep on being awesome. And hopefully I'll be able to produce more of the more extreme content like the Dark Interaction 2, like Retro Replay, things that needs just a little bit more oomph. I'm just sort of working through this ball of mess. It's still here. I'm hoping to have most of it squished down before 2017, but there's still some work to do on it, so we all have our own ball of mess, don't we? So we just want to take it and whoop, Hobie. There we go. Perfect shot every time. Have a still good day. Take care and stay awesome. But most importantly, everybody, stay dark. Goodbye.